Is an offense that can put points on the board. 79 the average, or 75 rather, I should say, is their average. And then they'll be in their road purple for Chattanooga. There you see the lineup. Pugh making her fourth start, Brooke Hampel making her sixth straight, and then Abby Cornelius, who logs a lot of minutes, is tipping it off in the center. Chattanooga, the home team in their white uniforms, getting the first crack at the basket of the game, and we are underway between these two.
An aggressive start for Chattanooga, just again could not finish at the bucket.
North Alabama, as we mentioned, coming into this game looking for their first road win of the game, and Abby Cornelius with the block down low.
Fantastic defense, all ball on that block, and it starts the break the other way.
This is Dina Geralds, who was hot the other night against Cincinnati, to Amaria Pugh, who was frustrated in her effort against the Bearcats. As Chattanooga looking to score first on the give and go, and it's broken up defensively on the interior. Skylar Gill stepping in front of the pass. We'll talk a lot about her this afternoon. There's the birthday girl, Jada Moore, with the ball in her hand. She turns 19 this afternoon. There she is again. That's a good way to get your birthday started. Jada Moore knocking down the three. The 5'7" sophomore from St. Louis gets the Lions on the board. Some miscommunication there, and a breakout run for the Lions. And it is picked off defensively on a nice hustle back by Olofsdottir.
Great recovery there on that fast break by Chattanooga.
Same thing here. Pugh and Dina Geralds, they isolate that right side, and then there's a whistle and a bump and a foul, and that'll go against the Lions. Jaworski. Her first of the game. Team first.
You can see early on, North Alabama very active in the passing lanes. They have done some scouting on Chattanooga.
Dina Geralds floats in the running left-hander.
Dina Geralds.
Quickly the other way, and another basket for the Lions.
How about Hina Suzuki just blazing down the court to start that break?
Stretches the lead back to three. Rifling it inside and tipped away, and so the Lions come out early, Craig, and we can see defensively hands in the passing lanes.
Hands up, they have scouted Chattanooga well.
Who will inbound for Chattanooga as we await? 15 seconds on the shot clock. Baseline to the right, Brooke Hampel. This is Amaria Pugh trying to lob it inside, and this one is again intercepted by the Lions. Not a great start for Chattanooga.
And again, Todd, that's three plays where Chattanooga has tried to go inside on one of their bread and butter sets, and North Alabama has been there to shut it down. This, the bucket, and one.
Jaworska all the way, picking up the basket. This is the first trip to the free throw line by any team this afternoon. Jaworska 79% on the season, as she has made now 24 out of 30 with that attempt.
Boy, she finished strong there off that break. Slow starts have been problematic for Chattanooga so far this season.
6-point deficit. They've already turned it over 3 times. Abby Cornelius gets doubled. Dina Geralds gets a look from 3. And this could be the second foul of the game on Jaworska.
Boy, and good hustle by Amaria Pugh that time, fighting for that rebound.
So Jaworska's going to have to sit down. And you look at her early impact of this game, and that's not somebody you want on the bench this soon in the first half. That'll get Chattanooga within to 3 on the three-pointer.
Brooke Hampel opens things up with a much-needed 3.
She shoots 17% from behind the arc, so a risky shot on her part, but it pays off. Chattanooga has the rebound. Olofsdottir, who when she was in the game the other day against Cincinnati, the Mocs looked like they had some structure. When she was out, that wasn't always the case. Double team on the post, forces the ball back into Amaria Pugh's hand, and she'll hit the mid-range jumper.
Amaria Pugh hit the bucket. Alex Callens from North Alabama gambled defensively and fronted Abby Cornelius, and the Mocs made him pay at that time.
So Chattanooga moving to within one for the first time here early. Jada Moore tosses quickly into the corner. That's Skylar Gill. Skylar Gill has had a good week and a half of basketball. Callens back out with 1 second left on the shot clock off the front of the rim. Skylar Gill had no other options.
Best defense of the night so far for Chattanooga.
Abby Cornelius will draw a double team. And there with her hand on the ball is Gill. And then the block shot.
Fantastic defense by Skylar Gill that time.
So what do you think? Are the Lions intent on taking away at least one player and making Chattanooga execute with all the others?
And they want to make them. They want to make it difficult to pass inside. They've done a great job of making things tough on Abby Cornelius offensively so far.
This one tipped away, and now that'll be the second turnover for the Lions. Ola Stoller will bring it back out. Three-pointer. Deep three-pointer. And nowhere near the mark, although they say it must have nicked the rim because they reset the shot clock.
Hey, how about the hustle by Brooke Campbell? Second time she's come up strong with a rebound. Both these teams playing with a lot of energy early, Todd.
You would think 2 o'clock start. We've talked to players
Plenty
before. But it's a little unusual. Sometimes you got to generate your own energy because it's not the same as the 7.
And I think North Alabama has done a good job of that.
Addie Porter checks in and quickly throws the ball away from the breaking offensive threat. And I think some of these are this 2 o'clock start. And
you could be right.
Yeah, it's. Look, we've talked to men's programs, women's programs. We've talked to players of different sports, and they all say you change the schedule, it changes our rhythm a little bit. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Amaria Pugh, who's made one already, floats it off the back of the rim. Cornelius is tied up underneath with Gill, and that ball is going to go the other way for the Lions.
I think you're right about something, Todd. Chattanooga's got to create more of their own energy on the defensive side, and they're starting to tighten things up a bit.
Mocs are on a 5-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes. This is Suzuki. And she starts the offense to the right side. Been sitting on this 8-7 differential for a while now. Game clock inside of 5, shot down to 6, and a chance for a defensive rebound. And instead, Jada Moore finds a way to wiggle out of there. She's doubled in the corner. That'll draw a whistle.
Chattanooga with a good job that time of forcing an outside shot, but they weren't able to capitalize with the rebound.
Chattanooga has clawed back to within 1, and there's a break on the floor. We're back with more in a moment.
What does it mean?
Craig, there's the rest of the story for them so far this year.
And Skylar Gill named the Atlantic Sun Freshman of the Week. She's averaging almost 13 points per game and almost 10 rebounds per game.
We expect a lot out of her this afternoon. Here inside McKenzie Arena, a 3-point shot on the way. And Abby Cornelius on the backside with the rebound. Abby Cornelius is number 11 in the nation defensively on rebounds. Gets open and gets a look.
That's a one-shot possession for Chattanooga.
Chattanooga still looking for their first lead of the game. They took the first shot of the game. And they are coming off of a game where they did not make a basket in the entire first period against Cincinnati.
And that's the tough start they have avoided so far this afternoon.
Olofsdotter on the right side with a standing dribble, tried to work it into Cornelius, and again, the Lions step in front.
They have fronted Cornelius, and it has paid off so far.
Jade Moore with another basket, her second of the game.
Skylar Gill is determined to front Abby Cornelius despite the size advantage. Chattanooga's been unable to capitalize on that.
McClendon to Olofsdotter. It's the first time we've seen the combination in the game. Again, down low, and it's a tough start for Abby Cornelius.
That was a point-blank shot. She just didn't have enough touch on that one.
Suzuki had it momentarily. Back to Abby Cornelius. She faced an onslaught of size and speed
Really
the other night
has all
against
year.
Cincinnati. So this is going to be maybe a little bit of a different game for her.
And against Alabama, a couple of weeks ago as well. She's had to work hard most of the season. She's been the linchpin for them offensively and defensively.
Chattanooga not as deep at that position as they have been in the past, although Carson Murphy can come in and help out down low when necessary. Quickly, a spot-up three is good.
Strachan from deep, that's her first bucket of the game.
Yeah, she's got 5 now.
First three-pointer of the game.
Quick handoff there. Little baseline move, little mid-range jumper. Missed it to the left side of the rim. And the Lions try to break out on a run offensively. And again, the second time today, Craig, that Olofsdottir has raced down the floor and interrupted some offensive flow.
Really broke up a fast break. And I think the hardest thing for a player like Abby Cornelius when the shots aren't falling is to keep shooting, stay in the structure of your offense, and eventually they're going to fall. I'm impressed with the speed of North Alabama, especially at the guard spot.
Lions with their largest lead of the game. And again, those turnovers for Chattanooga, 4 now. Olofsdottir underneath and hammered on the shot.
That's the first on Alexis Callens. Chattanooga now trying to go inside, and Olofsdottir just too deep under the basket that time.
Olofsdottir, 71% on the season. She doesn't normally get to the line. She's 5 of 7 coming in.
One thing you can tell, Todd, North Alabama has found a way to make Chattanooga uncomfortable in their basic sets offensively. They have done some film work.
Olofsdottir making a pair and gets Chattanooga to within 4 again. A little more than 2 minutes remaining here in the first. On the backside, looking for the rebound, Callens. And instead, it's out of bounds, and Chattanooga will have it. We talked about Carson Murphy being able to back up down low, and now she gets into the game, and she will join Abby Cornelius, so a bit bigger of a front court right now for Chattanooga.
And that's 2 big targets for them to look for inside.
Murphy, who just checked in. Another chance, a new shot clock at 20 seconds then.
Nice tip there by Abby Cornelius, and she gets it deep here.
Dina Gerald.
Skylar Gill has had a great game already. Fantastic block there, and she's had spectacular defensive effort so far this afternoon.
Skylar Gill this year. Here you again, you see her watcher underneath.
And just good position, maintained her position, and a nice clean block.
Quick shot by Murphy is in. Murphy, who shoots only 37% from the field, gets a basket. That's good news. Chattanooga will be searching for some offense somewhere today, as they are now back to within 2, and then quickly that lead is stretched back out on the three-pointer by Strachan. She has made a pair this afternoon. She is standing on 8 points here in the first period. Porter switches hands, and there's just nowhere to go, but she does draw the foul.
You're right, Todd. Just there's so much congestion in there. It is difficult to get a shot off.
So Chattanooga will get back to the free throw line. Addie Porter She was the player in high school in this area. This is what she's remembered for. She hit the pull-up jumper with 3 seconds left when they were playing Bradley Central in the state championships. That kept Bradley Central out of the Final Four. That launched her team in.
Right.
They celebrated there, and they hung their heads just up the road here in Cleveland, Tennessee, which is roughly about 30 minutes away from this arena. Making a pair, it's back to a three-point game. And again, the three-pointer on the way, and this time just a little bit off the mark is Strachan. McClendon with a little bit of time left on the game and the shot clock. Sends it back out, gets it back now. And Chattanooga has cleaned up another offensive rebound. Another chance here for Abby Cornelius. Leaning in and getting it to roll around and in.
And she hits maybe the toughest opportunity she's had all day. They had her smothered that time. Nice creative escape dribble to set up that shot.
Five on the shot and the game clock here. Chattanooga down by 1. Quick entry down low, and this one's going to end the period with Chattanooga trailing by 1. So a back and forth start to this game. And there you can see where we sit after the first one played. Got another 10 minutes coming your way in the second quarter coming up after this. Hi, Crystal Air. Let's go ahead and get you to the tail of the tape from this afternoon between these two ball clubs as we take a look at a comparison of what we've seen so far. Coming into this game, Chattanooga shooting 38% from the field. North Alabama shooting 43%. And there you see the records, 4-5, 1-10. So far this year, the Lions are averaging 75 points a game. They're giving up 69, so they're +5. Chattanooga, you know, the numbers are a little bit different, Craig.
That time, Olivia Jones got in great position defensively to pick up an offensive foul.
Suzuki making her first basket of the game for the Lions. Back out to a three-point lead then. A little reach in on the dribble around. Olivia Jones possibly.
She got beat baseline that time by Brooke Hampel and called for the reach in.
Jones, a 5'10 freshman out of Jackson, Tennessee. And she is a player who had 1,613 points in her high school career. That's those are numbers you start to take a look at. You get close to 2,000, you start to...
You're doing your job.
Yeah, you think, oh, maybe this player has something. As Chattanooga turns it over for the 5th time in this game now. But still lots of time to clean up anything that's problematic so far. Three-pointer on the way from Strachan, who's feeling it, and why not? She hit 2 in the first. She has 8 in the game so far. When I say she hit 2, I mean 2 3-pointers to go along with 1 field goal. Olofsdottir trying to play in the post. Hampel comes to the free throw line and unable to connect there.
Boy, the speed of Suzuki, she does a great job of getting things across the court and set up into their offense.
Jade Moore missing on the 3, but the Lions get the rebound. Another one from Strachan. That's her 3rd.
I'd say she's comfortable. She's created her own energy, that's for sure.
She has 11 now in the game. I would agree with you on that one. Strachan, other than going scoreless against Kentucky, she has been in double figures a few times this year.
Just a little bit of indecision by Amaria Pugh that time.
Strachan again in the corner. She's made 3, now she's made 4.
And is feeling it.
She now has 14 in the game. And Chattanooga is going to have to figure something out defensively as you see her numbers.
That last win was November 17th at Tennessee State, and they have got a battle on their hands right now this afternoon, a hot shooting North Alabama team.
Chattanooga has had an exhibition win. They did that against Georgia College. And then that last win followed by 8 consecutive losses, and Abby Cornelius will post up underneath for her second field goal of the game. We left with another Strachan three-pointer just before the break. She has 4 in this game. She came into this game shooting 40%. That number is up. She now has 80 on the season.
She's hit her per game average already with 14 points. And that last 3, Todd, the defensive rotation was just a little bit late. She got a clean shot and dropped it.
We mentioned it before the start of the game. This was a starting lineup for the Lions that was averaging double figures as Brooke Hampel hits on the other end offensively.
And that was a simple, solid, go to the open part of the floor and hit a shot, and that's been missing from the Mocs offense so far.
A 5-point deficit for Chattanooga, and they pick it off.
And great job by Abby Cornelius anticipating the defensive lane that time.
Porter to Olafsdottir. Short mid-range jumper just off the back of the rim. And then a hard foul. You know, Olafsdottir is a player who just, as the game goes on, she gets better. But the cold start is sometimes can be haunting.
Boy, just a great defensive effort by Addie Grace Porter that time. And you can see Chattanooga trying to turn up the heat defensively and make it harder for North Alabama to get shots.
Yeah, Porter blitzing off the edge, picking up the sack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Suzuki, quickly down inside. She finds the open player. And did Macy Lee work herself out of a pretty good shooting spot?
Did.
Yeah.
Walked into a harder shot than where she got the basketball.
Porter's 3 is high and arcs in.
And just like that, Todd, it is a different ball game.
So the three-pointer starting to rack up in this one as Chattanooga gets one of their own. They've watched several three-point line, and there you go. You see the all-time meeting between these two.
Last meeting a year ago, and Chattanooga won that pretty easily by 13.
Yeah, it's been a series. It's gone on for quite some time. Dina Gerald's had 13 in that last game when they met the Lions. Abby Cornelius was 6 of 6 shooting with 12 points in the contest. Trying to go underneath, and there's a layup after the missed assignment defensively. Somewhat of a missed assignment, a bit of a gamble, I should say.
Addie Grace Porter got there just a little bit late, and Strachan made him pay.
Strachan now with 16 points in this game.
Suzuki with a solid box out there, and she starts back the other way.
Olafsdottir will take the walk in what resembled somewhat of a charge as well.
Julia Strachan is feeling good. She just wants the ball, period. She is going straight to the bucket.
So Strachan is going to check out on that one. You know what? She has 2, right? And so she's got enough points. No sense in risking it.
And that's probably a break for Chattanooga. She has just been on fire so far in the first half.
Here's Pugh on the crossover, and she walked with it. That'll be a turnover, and for Chattanooga, that'll now be their 7th of the game. Token press, Suzuki easily across midcourt line. It'll be interesting to see with Strachan out of the lineup where the Lions go with the ball. Largest lead of the game for the Lions has been 6. Nice footwork underneath, but defensively, Skylar Gill just couldn't get around Cornelius, but this 3 is on the way, and it is in.
Jade Moore with the 3 that time. Solid defense until that last shot by Chattanooga, especially inside by Abby Cornelius.
That'll be her second made 3 of the game. Inside of 5 minutes to go now, Olafsdottir and Porter. That guard combination for Chattanooga. And Porter. And It might have either been stepped out of bounds or was there a 3-second violation. Either way, it's another turnover, and that is number 8 in the game. We had mentioned earlier discussing the depth inside for Chattanooga. Leah Jones now comes in. And she is one of maybe 2 that can help out down low with Abby Cornelius. Moore sizes it up, and Jones is making her presence made felt immediately with the rebound and a whistle away from the ball. Maybe against Skylar Gill. It'll be her first. Kind of waiting for Gill to get heated up a little bit offensively.
She's been solid on the defensive end for sure today.
She is scoreless, though, to this point. Quick toss to Jones. Gets a good look. And the results aren't there. Suzuki will break out quickly with it. The right-handed dribble just above the waist there. And now settles down. Callens. This is Moore. And back outside for a three-pointer by Callens. In her last game, 1 of 7 against Murray. She had a season-high 22 against Austin Peay this year. Abby Cornelius drawing her first personal foul now. There you see the deficit. Chattanooga's trying to reel in, but guess what? That deficit just grew a little bit.
Even Suzuki dropped one from deep.
Right out of that corner. That's her first 3 of the game. She has 5 points now.
They have been deadly from that corner of that end of the floor, Todd.
They have found a spot where they feel like they can get to offensively, right?
By the Chattanooga bench, and Chattanooga's been late on a couple of defensive rotations, and that time Suzuki just dropped one in from deep.
Which somewhat can be a bit of surprise. In talking with coaches, you and I have discovered that, hey, when the other team has the ball on our defensive end, as you watch that 3 go in, the coach is all over the players about what they're doing defensively.
And Suzuki only averages 4.4 points per game. Hey, nice steal by Olofsdotter here.
Hampel off of the turnover.
The first fast break bucket of the day for Chattanooga.
And Chattanooga again, back to within 5 again. Haven't quite been able to get any closer. They've been within 1, but it's been a while. Moore's 3-pointer is off the mark, and Porter has the rebound. She searches the floor and then decides to pull up. That allows Cornelius and Olofsdotter a chance to catch up. Olofsdotter finds a shooter, and Hampel is just a little bit too long off the backside of the iron. Callens down the lane and blocked by Abby Cornelius. And then a reach-in foul to stop the play is raking Abby Cornelius with Callens.
Boy, Todd, that is so hard to get a block like that if you're Abby Cornelius and you're inside. That was all ball. Second time she's done that tonight. But that's a tough place to work.
Yeah.
That is a tough place to work when she goes to the line.
Abby Cornelius was a second-team Southern Conference pick, which you could argue is too low. What you can't argue against is she was coach's first-team defensive pick in the Southern Conference.
She's done a great job really all season.
Cornelius, her first trip to the free throw line, where she is making 80% of her shots this year. And she gets her team now to within 3. 2.5 minutes remaining here in McKenzie Arena in Chattanooga. Macy Lee had it momentarily. Macy Lee has not been able to get on track yet.
They get Strachan for the illegal screen call that time.
Want to remind everybody to stay with us at halftime, which is presented by Papa John's. Fans, when the Mocs win, you win. Every Monday following a Mocs men's or women's basketball win, be sure to use promo code MOCSWIN to get 50% off of your online pizza order. We'll have a lot of stuff to talk about on the Papa John's halftime report.
This final 2 minutes, Todd, could really set the table for the second half for one of these two teams.
Another whistle and stoppage of play. Another turnover for Chattanooga, number 9 now here in the first half. Well, neither team has put on a clinic unless you're trying to teach people how to turn the ball over. Right. 9 for one team, 8 for the other.
I would say it seems like North Alabama has a little bit more offensive firepower with the way they've been able to score from 3 this afternoon.
Suzuki gets a pick, tries to work it down the left lane, and again, game is halted by a whistle. Well, after 9 games this year, North Alabama has created 5 more turnovers than they've given up, and Chattanooga is on the other side in a deficit in turnovers as Suzuki makes the free throw.
Todd, that's the first time today Suzuki's gotten to the line, but her speed has given Chattanooga problems this afternoon in terms of getting across the half-court line and setting up their offense.
Making a pair to get that lead back out to 5 now, and it's noticeable. Ever since you've brought it up, Craig, I've been watching her, and she creates a lot of havoc. Jones gets a loose ball, gets one shot, gets a second shot to drop. First field goal of the game for a player that makes about 50% of her field goal shots, and she gets down low, she gets them, and another whistle and a turnover as another illegal screen is called.
And another opportunity for Chattanooga to tie it or get back into this game. Reagan Hugh, number 23, called that time.
In case you're just getting in from mall shopping, North Alabama on the road today here in Chattanooga. They're in their purple uniforms, Chattanooga wearing their home white. And here's a baseline move that is defended but will send a player to the line.
Goodness gracious. Destiny McClendon exploded down that baseline and created all kinds of problems for the North Alabama defense. Goodness gracious. Destiny McClendon exploded down that baseline and created all kinds of problems for the North Alabama defense, and that's why she's going to the line.
Her first trip today.
Nice aggressive move that time, Todd.
On 21 attempts, she's made 16. And that number will come down a little bit. Yeah, she is showing or starting to feel some confidence about her game. She's new to this team. Sometimes it takes a while to know where you fit in.
From Lake Oconee High School in Greensboro, Georgia.
Missing one, making one. Back to a 2-point margin. A minute to go now. Nice change of hands with the dribble, the bucket, and a trip to the free throw line for Skylar Gill is coming up. Make that Tiana Sears, excuse me.
Boy, she just kept got the thing rolling in the right direction and was able to finish here. A nice crossover and just goes right to the bucket and finishes.
She's only played 21 minutes this year, but she's getting a bulk of work today as she completes the three-point play. The transfer from UMass Lowell, she's only averaging just a little over 2.5 a game. Three-pointer from the corner.
And they're going to call Reagan Hune with a push again to get position that time. Sorry, Chattanooga will be called that time.
There are 10 personal fouls against Chattanooga. There have been 12 against the Lions in this first half of play, and we're not finished yet.
That's on Olafstarter that time. It's been a physical contest.
5'10" junior from Carmel, Indiana. Hune at the free throw line. That one never looked like it was tracking to go down. Pretty hard miss there. She's played in 7 games this year. This would be game number 8 for her. And Chattanooga 1 of 4 in their last couple of trips. Now they are 1 of 5.
Boy, Todd, the long rebounds just have not bounced their way at all this afternoon.
Lions with a chance to extend the lead before the half. Up by 6. Shot clock's at 17. There's a 2 seconds difference, and then the turnover. Well, I just have to ask when the alarm clock is going to go off for these two teams, right? There's a game today?
Man, it is it's an afternoon of labor.
And you're a little lucky that both teams apparently overslept a little bit coming into this one. Good news for each squad. Chattanooga with a chance to close this lead. McClendon with a strong right-handed move to the basket.
First step explosion for Destiny McClendon.
Can Chattanooga keep the lead at 4? And the answer to that is on the missed shot, yes. So a hard-fought first half, a lot of personal fouls, some nifty outside shooting, and it's a 4-point deficit for Chattanooga as we go to the half. Our Papa John's halftime show will come your way following this break with first half highlights, first half stats.
First half, and they want to keep her hot here in the second half as well. Stopping her priority 1 for the Chattanooga defense. 6 of 9 from the field.
Lions will start the second half with the ball and the lead, Suzuki. With the ball in her possession now. Penetrates. And Chattanooga gets the first rebound here in the second half. A chance to get within 1 depending on their shot selection here. Dina Geralds and Olafsdottir. That's the guard combination. It is a good one when they start feeling it.
Katie Burrows wanted the ball reversed to this side of the court.
Step back jumper. 7 seconds on the shot clock after the miss and then the turnover. Chattanooga started the game with a miss on their first possession. They start the second half with a miss. Pugh, after the lengthy pass in the corner. Hampel for 3, and you can see the results.
That did everything but go down. That is hard to believe that shot came out.
It really is. For a moment, it looked like it was below the cylinder.
Yes.
That's how my cakes come out of the oven, right? I think that's done, and then it pops right back out. Suzuki. And this is the penetration and pitch game right now by the Lions. Their shot clock is down to 3, and there's a block on the drive and a hard foul at the end of that will send Suzuki more than likely to the free throw line.
North Alabama did a nice job that time of continuing to move the basketball, and then Suzuki supremely aggressive going to the bucket.
She had 7 at the half at the free throw line. This is her second trip of the afternoon, and she has yet to miss one. And she continues to be perfect, at least from that spot. She played with the Lions until January 30th last year, and then a knee injury ended her season. She was scoreless in her last game from the field, but was 4 of 4 from the free throw line. And we can see that playing out today. Shot clock down to 5 here. Cornelius has to do something with it. How about a basket and 1?
How about the poise as the shot clock is winding down to just keep creating and get herself in position to score, and the foul. Right here, just post up as the shot clock's winding down, prepared for contact, protected the basketball, and finished.
Cornelius now with 9 points, a chance, or make that rather 8, a chance to get to 9, and she has made all 3 of her free throws today. She has had 2 double-doubles this year, and she seems to always be around that number. She has 4 rebounds after 1 half of play.
Olafsdottir always seems to be around the basketball. Boy, and Suzuki with a tough call there. called for the foul. You thought when that shoulder dropped, they might call it on Chattanooga, but Suzuki picks up the foul.
Mox back to within 3 again. Have not had the lead, and it's been stuff like that that's been problematic.
Boy,
throwing it into a double team.
Do that in a double coverage.
Strachan for 3, and a whistle stops the shot. She was too far in the corner.
On that previous play, Todd, just a little too anxious to get the ball to Abby Cornelius. 2 defenders right there in front of her.
Do you think that's a sign of forcing things?
I think it just aggression, seeing sometimes you see the opening before the player's actually open.
They will wave off the basket by Dina Gerald's. 1 extra step, takes 2 points off the board, keeps the lead at 3.
This has been a technical game inside.
Well, sometimes you've got to win the alley fight, right? And I think
and
this is where we're headed on this one.
This is full contact.
If you haven't seen the West Side Story yet, you're watching it right here today for free. Strachan's 3-pointer on the way, and she's starting to heat up again.
Supremely confident with that shot. She knew that ball was in halfway to the goal.
That is her first field goal here of the second half. A switch on Dina Gerald, so she'll work it to Pugh. Pugh going to drive hard with a dribble and a bit of a bump with the elbow on her way, so a whistle. I just feel like you can't touch anybody right now, right?
I think it's just been one of those games. Look, you're into the third quarter, 6:47 left into the third. This is how the game is going to be called. You have got to adjust if you're a player.
It feels like this game's going to end with both teams in the bonus.
Yes.
Pugh, Abby Cornelius, boy, they quickly flash a double team on her, so she finds the open runner.
And that kick out to Olofsdotter is the perfect antidote, Todd. The middle is wide open with a double on Abby Cornelius.
Olofsdotter with her first field goal of the afternoon. Chattanooga looking to make a stand here defensively. Suzuki throwing it up, and that one will drop out of bounds, and Pugh did the right thing. She watched it sail out.
Maybe the first time today, Todd, we've seen Suzuki be a little reckless with the basketball, hyper-aggressive that time.
Hampel, who's getting plenty of playing time right now, had it momentarily. 6 minutes here in the third. Dina Gerald's 3 is raining down.
Dina Gerald's for 3. It's a Lowry 3-pointer.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Chattanooga offense.
On the other end, a 3-pointer.
My goodness, a defensive breakdown, and Alexis Callens just has all day to set up, spot up, and drill that one.
Callens has 13 points in her last 2 games. That is her first field goal, however, here in the contest today.
And it looks like they're going to call Olivia Jones with that one.
Foul on number 20, Olivia Jones, her third.
That is 3. Again, Todd, if you had to pick out an advantage, you would say Chattanooga is a little deeper inside than North Alabama.
Chattanooga has made 3 out of their last 4 shots. There's a scrum at the middle of the floor, and that'll be a whistle on Suzuki.
Foul on North Alabama's number 24, Hina Suzuki, her third.
That's her third on Suzuki, so that that forces her out of the game.
You were talking about the international flavor of this game before we got started. She is one of those from
Hina
Japan.
Suzuki played her high school basketball at Hamamatsu, Japan, Osaka Toen Senior High School.
You sound familiar with that place. I'm taking it by your laughter that you're not.
I am not an alumni.
So you read that? No, okay.
I'm not.
Missing one, making one. Dina Gerald's now with 6 points in the game. You know, it's unusual. Dina Gerald's only shoots 56% from the free throw line. It's that conundrum. She's almost shooting better from behind the arc than she is.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a 3-point game. If you're Chattanooga, you want to figure out where Strachan is. And you want to figure out where this one is right here. A little isolation drive, and the help on defense prevented the basket.
Great help by Mario Pugh. Great chemistry with the help defense there.
Dina Gerald's, boy, she put some arc on him. When that one came down, it rattled the rim. Here it is. We talked about Callens taking threes just off a little bit.
One thing about it, they're not bashful, either team, about putting up a three this afternoon, which is kind of surprising when you look at they're difficult to get down.
Abby Cornelius sets the pick. Pugh. And this one hanging and dropping.
Shot. What a drive with the left hand. Put that thing up, arcing. Rat-a-tat it in.
It is close once again. Moore with Pugh on the defensive side. Boy, Moore collects it, then she walked with it.
Boy, that's a big break for Chattanooga there.
Chattanooga getting closer, down by one with under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Red Cross respond and to help people recover from this disaster. The American Red Cross is beginning large relief efforts in 4 states, Kentucky, Tennessee, Missouri, and Arkansas. To help those most affected by the storms, they are working around the clock to provide those in need of a safe place to stay, emotional support, and comfort in the face of one of the most devastating tornado outbreaks in years. Welcome back to our coverage of college basketball here on ESPN. I'm Todd Agnew and Craig Cecil. It is getting late here in the third, and it's getting tight here in the third, Craig.
And another tough turnover for Chattanooga. Points off turnovers. Northern Alabama has 18, Chattanooga 9. On the flip side, points in the paint, Chattanooga with 20, North Alabama with 12.
Chattanooga with an opportunity to get their one and only lead so far of the game, just went out of bounds. And so they'll have to defend to get another look here. Strachan stepping out for three and finding it. She knew where she wanted to be, and she has 21 in the game.
Skylar Gill made the great decision to kick it out instead of forcing a shot inside. And Julia Strachan made it paid off.
Cornelius underneath. And she gets the hard-labored basket.
Solid answer by Chattanooga.
I said 21. Strachan has 22. She made 4 3-pointers in the first half. She's got 2 here in the second. And the way she stepped out on that one, right? She's in range to make a mid-range jumper. She steps back out. So that's just confidence, right?
Absolutely. And why not? This has been her best offensive game in a long time.
Depending on shot selection here, Chattanooga can take the lead or tie it up. Shot clock at 7. Cornelius.
Wanted a call, probably should have gotten a call. It's out of bounds. They'll continue to hold on to the basketball.
Yeah, contact without foul, and somebody's got to remind them about the shot clock here.
Down to 4. And Todd, 2 minutes, 14 seconds here in the third. This is kind of a table setter moment in this game. If one team can shut the door for the next 2 minutes and 14 seconds, it could really set things up for a good fourth quarter for them.
Hampel misses the shot to take the lead. Got what they wanted, a corner shot that had a pretty good look on it. Jaworska, she's been silent for a while offensively as the Lions turn it over on the traveling violation.
Alexis Callens with the traveling that time. I thought that first step was good. It was a little too good. It was 2 first steps.
Right there, you get a good look at Callens. As an all-around player, she's been pretty good this afternoon, and there's another addition to her game. The backside block.
And that illustrates just how physical it has been inside this afternoon.
Abby Grace Porter will trigger the inbounds pass. Now she has it, and she is guarded well. They are aware now of her shooting capabilities. 10 on the shot clock. This is Dina Gerald's. 4 on the shot clock. And another missed opportunity to tie the game. Every time Chattanooga gets to the doorstep of success,
There's just a lid on the bucket.
Yeah.
And credit Abby Cornelius with a big-time block that time to turn things the other way.
Gerald's lowers the shoulder and turns the ball over.
She did lower the shoulder. I'm going to give Patriska Jaworska certainly an E for effort on that one as well.
You saw some of the displeasure there, and there you see Jaworska. She is just back into the game. 19 points in the last 4 games for her. Previously, she had had 30 points in 2 games just before that. So 19 in the last 4, but before that, she had really piled up some points and more hits from outside.
Jade Moore shot that shot like it was a free throw.
That's
complete confidence.
Their first field goal of the second half for Moore.
Looks like they're going to call Amaria Pugh with a clear out. Sorry, Addie Grace Porter that time.
This is now a 5-point game. I just get the feeling there's going to be some coaching strategy inside the last 5 minutes. Another 3. Callens has 6, all of them here in the second half. All of them here in the third period.
And she said great effort defensively as well.
This is an 8-point lead now for the Lions. Chattanooga is now scoreless in the last 2:25. Pugh. Is this a turnover? It is on the charge.
And Todd, that's one of those times where the extra pass wasn't necessarily the right pass. She could have gone straight to the bucket that time. A little bit of indecision here in this past 2 minutes for Chattanooga offensively.
There you see Katie Burrows, the head coach, talking with the officials. And they may be headed to the monitor here. So it has.
And Todd, to your point, maybe the press here is a solid idea.
By the way, when the officials come over to talk to me, it's just one. Somehow you've encouraged 2 to come over and talk to you. I'm going to take this with me today.
I'm a people person. What can I say? I'm trying to learn, Todd.
To your point, the Lions on the press, I don't know if they ignored the shot clock. They never get one off. And so we will. There's a look at the schedule. It is a pretty quick turnaround, as you can see there, for the Chattanooga women, as another 2 o'clock game is on the schedule. And then the men will be at home against Middle Tennessee State the Wednesday.
Todd, both teams have to do 3 things right now this final quarter. Defend with poise, have disciplined shot selection, and maintain your intensity. Whichever team does that the best is going to walk out of here with a win.
Pugh cuts that 8-point lead to 5 with a 3-pointer. How about that? Amaria Pugh comes out under pressure. Team needing a big basket. And she gets her first 3-pointer of the game. She's got 7 now. It's a 5-point lead. It was a halftime lead of 4. It doubled to 8. And Pugh just erased that with 1 shot. Her third. That has made this a 5-point game. You're looking there at Jade Moore, who will inbound for the Lions. And there's Amaria Pugh right there at the free throw line, getting ready to defend as Chattanooga will apply more of that pressure, Craig.
I think anything they can do to get Northern Alabama out of this comfort zone offensively is a great strategy.
Callens to Moore. And a stoppage of play in the corner.
And it looks like Addie Grace Porter called for that, and she picks up her third.
Callens in trouble. Finds somebody breaking to the basket, and that is Macy Lee.
Boy, What a brilliant pass. Haven't talked about Macy much tonight, but that was a beautiful pass and a beautiful finish.
Well, that is just her first field goal of the game, as she has made 1 out of 5 here tonight. This is a player that was averaging 14 points a game, and there's the one and bonus for Sigrun Olafsdottir. So Olafsdottir, she just had the free throws in the first half, and now she is starting to get some points on the board.
And a nice answer to that defensive lapse at the other end of the floor.
So all of her field goals coming here in the second half. And Chattanooga again searching for a way to take the lead, something they have not had in the game today. We started at 2 o'clock. So it's been a while. Callens with time running out. All she could do was try to get it up to the rim and couldn't find it. Hattie Grace Porter with a stutter step. And this went into Abby Cornelius. Churns, faces. That's a hard dribble and a nice leaner.
What a solid finish. And what poise to just work her shot.
Three-pointer from Moore. And she is home with that one.
If you leave these guards open, they will bury the three-pointer.
She has made 4 from beyond the arc today. She has 14 in the game. And just like that, that lead is stretched again to 5. Well, that was one of your keys to the game for North Alabama, finding a way to get some open looks from the 3 spot.
And they've done it.
Here's another one.
Another one. Strachan, net.
You knew it was coming when she touched it. She has 25 in this game.
And again, Chattanooga tied just a bit late on that defensive rotation, and Strachan is there to knock it down.
Another 8-point lead. That is how quickly it has happened today. So defensively now for Chattanooga, there's a few players to focus on the perimeter against the Lions.
But number one, if you just get your rotation right, you just don't want to leave somebody absolutely open with that much time where they can set up and draw up and nail it, because they're deadly this afternoon.
Chattanooga needs 5 to get to 60, and then 3 more to tie it up. So now, are we talking about one possession each time, right? We got to get a stop. Got to get a basket.
Yeah, you
got to get a stop.
Them.
Okay.
You have got to limit them to one-shot possessions the rest of the way through.
Chattanooga has had the advantage on the boards today, 28-23. Hampel to Olafsdottir, and that is nice, as she will find her way to the free throw line.
And you talk about an aggressive, fast, hard move to the bucket. That might be as hard as Sigrun Olafsdottir has gone after the bucket this entire game.
Olafsdottir today has made all 3 free throw attempts. Suzuki's going to check out, and there you can see Strachan coming back in, wearing number 13 for the Lions. Olafsdottir 4 of 4 from the free throw line. And again, we talked about this earlier. Her game picks up the longer it goes.
She needs reps. And the longer it goes, the more comfortable she gets.
North Alabama with 2 players in double figures, Moore and Strachan. Boy, they have carried this team today. Think about it. Strachan, she's close to half the points on this team. And it's in the 4th. You'll see that early in a game. Passed up a shot, Moore lays it up and in.
Wow, what chemistry between those two. Great offensive execution that time. They were patient, Todd, and just created their own opportunity.
North Alabama, 5 of their last 7 shots have gone in. And the scoreboard reflects that run.
Back up to 8.
When we're nearing that mark, 5 minutes, if you're not within 10, you're in trouble.
Mentally, it is hard on the team that's chasing, because Chattanooga has never led in this entire game.
Addie Grace Porter didn't get the get and go, but she's going to draw the foul. Boy, she had Olaf's daughter on the cut, passed it up for a drive.
Foul on North Alabama's number 22, Patricia.
So Addie Porter, who is 88% from the free throw line, has already made a pair today. And a player who is averaging just under 7 a game now has 9 on the afternoon. Misses her first free throw out of 4 attempts. If you're the Lions, how patient can you be now?
Extremely. You've got the lead. You just need to work for you need to work for the best shot you can create.
Jaworska in between the circles here with a standing dribble. 5 on the shot clock. Going to try to break down Abby Cornelius. Steps back out and can't get the ball to fall. Pugh isolated on the left side here. Right-handed dribble to the free throw line. 5.5 remaining in the game, and reaching out is Jaworska to get the personal foul.
Porter wanted that time to get the ball to Abby Cornelius, but just could not.
Foul on number 22, Patricia Jaworska. Her fifth.
You can see there's a 7-point difference in this game now.
Checking in for Lions, number 24, Nina Suzuki.
And the Lions are going to bring back in Suzuki. There's Hampel, and there's Pugh in the corner. Callens is on her. The stutter step, and kind of a blocked shot there. Pugh today shooting 50%. An improvement on the game the other night against Cincinnati.
Boy, you just feel like the ball's going to find 13 here as the shot clock winds down.
Suzuki takes a 3.
Suzuki says no need. I'll drill it.
That's her second of the game. That's her first here in the second half. She now has 12. She joins Strachan and also Jada Moore in double figures.
And Todd, to your point, we're under 5 minutes, and it's an 8-point lead for North Alabama.
Hampel with her first field goal of the second half here for Chattanooga. Boy, it has all come down to this final 4:19. Suzuki, who's been successful today on plays like this, throws it up hard off the back of the glass. Curiously, the teams have cut down on the turnovers here in the fourth. Whoops.
And on cue.
That's number 17 in the game for Chattanooga, and it results in points on the other end.
That's entirely too easy this late in the game.
Gill with only her second field goal here in the game. Cornelius towing the line, missing long. Hampel with the rebound.
Hey, how about that? Brooke Hampel in solid position to finish. But again, Todd, the mountain to climb is 8 points.
After this for the Lions, they go to Purdue. And then they'll be up in Philadelphia for a Christmas tournament. A rare miss from Callens. Chattanooga's schedule's a little bit different. They'll be at home on Monday against UNC Asheville, a team that is currently sitting at 500 with 3 road wins. We talked about the Lions not having one yet. And so Chattanooga will face the other end of the spectrum when they match up against UNC Asheville.
And that jump ball should go in favor of North Alabama. Fatigue starting to set in here a little bit, Todd, I think, for Chattanooga.
Checking in the game for Chattanooga, number 10, Dina Gerald.
Well, back to what we said, you got to defend the 3 or shots, and you got to make some, right?
Defend with poise, disciplined shot selection, and maintain intensity.
Stoppage in play. And I don't know what will happen. This is going to be a technical. There's a lot of people looking around here on press row.
They are, I think, explaining the call to Missy Tiber.
So a pair in the ball, I'm assuming. Abby Cornelius taking the free throw shots for Chattanooga. Making both.
And Todd, they've got a chance to get right back in this thing, depending on the shot selection they can and what they can drop here on this possession.
Abby Cornelius has made all 5. Here's a look at some replay.
That is on Skylar Gill. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Skylar Gill.
Some replay.
That is on Skylar Gill. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Skylar Gill.
Very familiar with those. So Chattanooga, you mentioned an opportunity here. Let's see what the shot selection looks like with a full shot clock. Hampel's 3. And Cornelius, I think, climbed over the back. She was desperate. She realized.
Was desperate, you're right. Trying to make a play and trying
Yep.
to save a possession.
Boy, that has been the story of the afternoon for Chattanooga. Trying to get a lead, just never able. They've been within 1 a couple of times, but it seems like they've always trailed by at least 4. It's gotten as high as 8. Jade Moore for the Lions has made her last 3 out of the 4, but guess what? The guard takes it here.
Hina Suzuki way off the glass that time. Back up to 8.
She's in double figures, as we mentioned earlier, now with 14. Inside of 2 minutes. Just nothing to see here offensively, as the Lions have really shut it down with their defensive play, and there's a basket and a 1.
Boy, Macy Lee tried to go one-on-one against Abby Cornelius, and a nice offensive spin to get the foul and the bucket. Watch the spin here to the right. Right gets position, goes up strong, and finishes.
Second time today that Abby Cornelius has been involved in a field goal +1. And the last time it worked out, going from 8 points to 9. Now she's trying to go from 17 to 18, and there it is. Boy, there is nothing wrong with her offensive game today. Abby Cornelius, along with that, has 7 rebounds.
Time for your defense. The Mountain is 5 points with 1:30 and counting.
And a reach and a foul.
And they are going to call, wow, Addie Grace Porter with that reach in. And that is 4 on Addie Grace Porter.
You know, we saw the personal foul on Jaworska. By the way, she fouled out of the game with that. That was her 5th. Suzuki has 4. Porter has 4. If this game gets to overtime, that'll be a problem. But as you mentioned, Chattanooga's got some work. So does Moore, shooting for 3 short off the front of the rim. Boy, there is just no margin of error here. Dina Gerald gets the defender in the air, pulls up, and
Solid.
hits a 2.
We talked about making good decisions, disciplined shot selection. That's a great example there. Pump fake the 3, drive for the easy 2.
It's a 3-point game. There's 21 on the shot clock. There's 47 on the game clock. And Suzuki with a standing dribble. A little surprised Porter hasn't crept in to make the count work in her favor. Here's the long 3 and a rebound by Hampel. And a timeout asked for by Chattanooga. They want to inbound the ball at midcourt.
So here you go.
Wise. We mentioned the free throw shooting coming into this game. North Alabama 75% on the season. Chattanooga 71%. So far today, North Alabama's made 87% of those. The 3-point shot on the way by Dina Gerald hits the rim. Chattanooga needs the foul, and they do. But there was a timeout by North Alabama. And so they will go into their huddle to discuss.
Yes, they do get the timeout.
24 personal fouls today.
I think the next one against Purdue, that's no easy trip either.
The women's program at Purdue coming a little bit out of a stumble, about a mid-conference team right now in the Big Ten. Suzuki, she stepped over the line. She turned the ball over.
Wow, Chattanooga takes over.
Boy, you get a gift at midcourt. And a timeout by Chattanooga.
And really the first big mistake in terms of not knowing where you are on the basketball floor we've seen Hina Suzuki make today. So now you work for that.
You're talking several plays in advance here.
And you saw Missy Tabor there. She looks like her team's kind of let one get away here, or at least open the door for something.
Addie Grace Porter will inbound. Chattanooga's been gifted an opportunity here. Dina Gerald is guarded closely. Cornelius will set the pick, and it's not a clean one. Time is running down, 16. Cornelius taking the three and can't get it to fall. And there is a foul on the play.
Julia Strachan tried to signal timeout, but they called the foul first.
So this is one of two league games today. Davidson will host UNC Greensboro. That game tipping off in about 10 more minutes. The Spartans 4-7 this year, 1-4 on the road. And they'll be on the schedule tonight. This is one of their closer games in quite some time.
Points in the paint. Here's a fascinating contrast. 32 points in the paint versus 20. But the three-point shooting, 44% for Northern Alabama, 26% for Chattanooga.
Boy, the inbound. This one's going to be picked off by Pugh. There's 10 seconds on the shot clock to drive all the way in the basket. So now, North Alabama steps on the line on the inbound. Jade Moore surrenders the ball to Chattanooga. That is their 17th turnover of the game.
And now, with 7 seconds left, you've got a chance to win the game.
Watch right here.
Here's the bucket by Pugh. That cuts it to 1.
They may look at them. I don't know if they'll look at this one. Let's watch if we can even see. Boy, it happened so quickly. Jade Moore trying to inbound the ball. So here's the situation. Chattanooga needs a basket. It's that simple. We said that 1 point would be the difference. Dina Gerald's going to take the shot off the back of the rim. It is loose, and there's still 3 seconds to go, and North Alabama gets the rebound.
Boy, that was a solid shot for that situation. The rim has just not been kind to Chattanooga this afternoon.
Boy, Dina Gerald's got the look that you would want to have, right? She is now 3 of 8 on the game in 24 minutes of play. If you're North Alabama, boy, making a pair would certainly help you rest easy. Callan's making her first visit to the free throw line today. This is going to come down to a chunk shot. There it is. Dina Gerald has it. We're inside of .8. There's the shot and off the back of the rim. And so Chattanooga suffers their 9th consecutive loss as they will drop to 1-11 and still without that home win, and the Lions get the road victory. Craig?
Boy, an entertaining basketball game. Great effort on both sides. Credit North Alabama executing just a little bit better offensively and emerging with a 3-point victory.
It came down to one play. So for our entire crew, I'm Todd Agnew saying so long from Chattanooga's McKenzie Arena, where the final score